Hey everyone, Allison Berger here, and in this video I'm going to share with you everything I did in Rhodes to help you plan your trip. But first, let me tell you how I got to Rhodes. It was with an Aegean Airlines flight, a very small propeller plane, in fact, from Crete to Rhodes, but it was quick and easy. There are no Ubers on the island, and that was the same in Crete as well. So you'll have to take a cab, and they're all waiting for you outside the airport, and the cost from the airport to the city of Rhodes is about 25 to 30 euros. I stayed in the modern part of Rhodes, which is kind of closer to the beaches, at the Diana Art Boutique Hotel. The room was clean, and it seemed to be recently renovated. Breakfast was included, and it had all the Greek delicacies that you'd want to have. I'm starting my time in Rhodes with MBC Travel, where they have customized a special tour for me because it is the off-season, where we are going around the medieval old city and adding in some food at the same time. Now, before I tell you about the tour itself, let me tell you about how fantastic MBC Travel is. I first discovered them on one of those travel marketplace sites, and I'm here to tell you to just reach out to MBC and book with them directly. Those sites take a cut, and with the service I experience and what you will too, they deserve the entire booking fee to themselves. The email address to use is in the description of this video, and just tell them that I sent you, and you will have the absolute best experience exploring Rhodes with them and all the different tours that they have available. Like I mentioned, because it's the off season, we combined two of their tours because not everything would be open. As you can see in these clips, not all the stores in the medieval city were open, but to me, that was fine and I wasn't bothered because just look at how empty the streets are. It was absolute paradise. I loved being in Rhodes in January. There were no crowds anywhere. It was amazing. So we started in the medieval city of Rhodes, walking the streets and learning about all the history and different groups of people that lived here. Rhodes was the last island to become a part of Greece. This whole area is now a UNESCO site, and it was truly just so interesting to learn about what transpired in these streets. I also chose to include a tour of the Grand Master Palace in our tour, which I got tickets for separately, and we had the palace practically to ourselves. It was a dream. This is a must-see when in Rhodes. You must come here and visit the palace, and if you don't have a guide like I did to take me around, even though you should book with MBC, you need to get at least the audio guide so you know what you're looking at. I mean, just look at all these artifacts. The mosaics in this palace were just incredible, and how they're still intact, it's just beyond words. The next half of our tour was a food tour. Now again, because it was the off season, we didn't visit all of the typical stops, but it was still fantastic. First, our guide brought us pies to have before the tour even started, which was just so kind of her. And then instead of bouncing to different places in a typical food tour fashion, we stayed in one typical Taverna restaurant and ate different delicacies like sardines, beans, calamari, cakes, and of course ouzo and raki, which... This is the first sip when it's hot. The chest is coming up. But this is good. I can have this all the time. Our tour ended at that restaurant, and then we walked back to the medieval city to visit the Jewish community of Rhodes. There's a synagogue here as well as a museum. The synagogue was currently under renovation, but we were able to go inside the museum, and it was really interesting to see it and walk around as it shares and depicts what it was like for Jews in Rhodes before World War II. They also offered tours during the main season. Then we just enjoyed roaming the streets of Rhodes, as there's just so much history here to see and explore. Today is my day of exploring the island of Rhodes, so I rented a car with Marathon Rent-A-Car, and my first big stop is to the Acropolis of Lindos. However, the owner of Marathon Rent-A-Car suggested some side quests for us to stop at along the way. First was to this lookout point where we got an incredible view of the city of Rhodes. It was such a beautiful day. We could even see Turkey out there in the distance. We made a few stops along the way just to take in the sights, and I wrote out for you in the description where you can go so you can get these views too. Then we drove up the hill to the Monastery of Filerimos, getting more incredible views as we kept going up. Once we got there were so many peacocks, just everywhere. They took over the parking lot. The entire area was just filled with them. We chose just to wander the grounds a little bit, not actually go into the monastery because you have to pay a fee and there's a ticket to get. But it was nice to stop here and just take in the sights before we finally started to head towards Lindou. Lindos. Now the drive from Rhodes to Lindos is only about an hour, and it's a really easy drive. Right before you get to the Acropolis, there's this excellent lookout point where you can get this view. Once you make the left off the main road to head to the Acropolis, you'll end up in this little parking lot. And I'm gonna wish you good luck that you're able to find a parking spot here. It was free to park. I think there was another little parking area to the left of this spot, because otherwise you will be walking up and down more than just the hill to the Acropolis. So after you park, you follow the signs through the town to walk up towards the Acropolis. Now again, it's January. Most of the stores are closed. It didn't bother me because just look at how empty these streets are. This is probably wall to wall filled with people during the peak season, and it's probably way more difficult to walk around, so this was just lovely. The walk up wasn't too strenuous, but it definitely is a walk, so be prepared. And then before I knew it, we reached the entrance to the Acropolis of Lindos. Now, I did this on my own. There was no tour or guide involved in visiting the Acropolis of Lindos, but this is what I did to prepare for my visit and what you should do too, which is to purchase the self-guided audio tour with your ticket. This is truly necessary as you walk around. Without the audio guide, you will not know what happened here and what you are looking at. I downloaded the audio guides and prepared them in advance of my visit since there's no Wi-Fi at the Acropolis. There was even another audio guide that I was able to get to tell me about the town of Lindos that was interesting. It was truly a lifesaver having the audio guide, so please make sure to get it. And don't forget to bring your headphones so you are a considerate traveler to the other visitors around you. But again, it was still January when I visited, and it was an absolute dream to have this entire Acropolis basically to myself. It was almost as if I was a Greek goddess for the day. Visiting the Acropolis of Lindos is a very different experience than visiting the Acropolis in Athens, but if you have the opportunity to visit both, I highly recommend it. However, what's left of the Acropolis of Rhodes is not as impressive as both of these other Acropolises. So if you visit Rhodes, it is definitely worth driving out to Lindos to see this in real life. The history, you get to walk along, it's just beyond words. From there, the adventure was not over, so we hiked back down to the car and headed off to the other side of the island to Wine Road. The environment completely changed as we rode through these winding roads, encountering a lot of different wildlife along the way. And that was all the way up until we arrived in Embonas for a tasting with Tsoukalos wines. They normally have their tastings in their shop since it's the central location for all of their vineyards that are spread out across the island. But due to weather, we rearranged the tasting to be a pairing at their family's restaurant. There are 4 different grape varieties that are on the island of Rhodes that Tsoukalos winery uses to make their delicious wines, which paired perfectly with all the dishes we tried. And as you can tell by the rosiness in my cheeks, I fully enjoyed myself. So after you visit their cava to sample and buy some of their wines, then head into town to dine at Taverna Savvas. You will not regret it. Rhodes was an incredible island to visit. I really enjoyed my time here, partly because I visited in January and the island wasn't filled with tourists, but I could definitely see myself visiting Rhodes again in the future during the on or off season. So as they say in Greece, I hope you enjoyed exploring Rhodes with me, and this helps you plan your trip during the on or off season. For information about all the things that I did, check out the links below. So until next time, I'm Alison Berger, and don't forget, I'm FunSized.